Dungeons, I suppose. Look, I've only done 2 dungeons, Anglar Academy and the Azure Vault. I really enjoyed both of them.
Fucking great, man.
When I was going through the Academy, I just kind of thought to myself, oh, this is I really like this framing. This is really fun.
Yeah.
You know, choosing my buff at the start. I liked the bosses. I kept on getting myself tossed off cliffs because I'm stupid. Then going into the Azure Vault, like, man scale. Simple, solid bosses.
Yeah, the magic ring, RNG buffs and stuff.
Yeah, and hey, it looks a bit like the Nexus, so there's a little bit of me that's like, I did that with Jared and Matt in our Wrath Classic night. That was fun. Tickles my pickle from back in the day. Okay, Azure Vault, sweet. So you've obviously done more than me.
Yeah, the only 3 I haven't.
feeling?
I haven't done on Mythic yet. I'll probably do those tomorrow. Are Brackenhide, Halls of Infusion, and Neltharis. And I think those are probably the 3 weakest dungeons because I've obviously done them all before on like heroic and stuff and in the beta. But I think those 3 are definitely the weakest. The other 5 are great. Knockhood gets a wee bit awkward just because of how people can land anywhere. So there's a lot of freedom for routing, but it does feel a bit weird when you're going at such speed you don't know where someone's landed because you can't physically follow their movement. But it's a really great framing for it, and it's actually fun as hell. Which is one. Ruby Light Pools is really short. And I really like, if all dungeons felt like that, I think I'd be pissed off. But because only it feels like that, and it's just this, here's a corridor, here's a ring, here's a boss. And it feels really good.
Yeah.
Like,
It's good to have a Maw of Souls, a Dark Heart Thicket.
yeah.
Yeah, it's good for variety.
Yeah, and then what's the other one that I really, really liked? Because I liked Asher quite a lot. I like Alcatraz. Those are fantastic dungeons. Why can't I remember what the other one is?
Sleep Deprivation, I
Sleep
think.
Deprivation is exactly it.
We did serve as the night crew last night.
Oh, yeah, literally like finishing videos up at like 3 in the morning because we're idiots.
So, yeah, the way that today worked was interesting. Because there's a video, you had it done at like 1:30 or whatever. At that point, I'm like, okay, sorry, honey, I'm going back to work. See you later. I then come in here, I record that video, I write another video, record that video, record a news video, go to McDonald's, come back, have a McMuffin because it's time to be a slug man. But actually, it's no longer time to be a slug man. No more slugs.
Nope. Slugs
Brought to you by Carlsberg.
That's not Carlsberg.
It's Heineken shit. It's all piss that tastes the same.
That's fair.
I'm sorry, people from the Netherlands. You guys keep the good stuff, but I can't really say that because we keep the good Guinness.
That we do, yeah.
I've had Guinness in America. Oh.
That said, the foreign extra stout's pretty good.
The foreign extra stout is pretty good.
Yeah.
But hey, if you're in America and you're not particularly enjoying the Guinness, you know what? Maybe it's our fault because we're keeping the good shit for ourselves. Sorry.
Yeah, absolutely. And now I have time for my neurons to piece together the missing dungeon.
Bam! Teamwork!
Yeah, teamwork. Absolutely. Absolutely, yes. And I'll tell you why I forgot about it. Because it wasn't actually a new dungeon. It's Uldaman. And Uldaman is very good. It is very good. I like it. The part of it I don't like is, and this is something World of Warcraft will have to contend with. Oh, you're going to all these dungeons. All right, well, go to Hearth to Valdrakken, or, you know, if you're close enough, skyward ascent your way up and fly down real nice. Oh, you're going to Uldaman, are you? Take the portal to Stormwind and then use your old mount to fly straight there. And you're like, this game was really good. Why am I back to this fucking AFK no clip shit? How have you've ruined the rest of your game by making the new part good?
I think the contrast there is awesome because you know when you're used to dragon riding and then you die, like if you're playing in war mode, and then you have to old school mount, fly back to your corpse. You're like, fuck, this is like treacle. What the hell? How is this the thing that I was used to? Whenever now it feels like that anime where you go inside a dragon's mouth and fly around, and also it's a jet plane because it's an anime and they're all bonkers, and that's why they're great.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's when it's a massive fan. Yeah.
That's the one.
I'm gonna have to wait and see how it feels in Execution to come to season 1, where it's how much of it will feel the same once people stop having loads and loads and loads and loads and loads of content to do, and then people can do, oh hey, yep, you have to into the fucking Mythic Plus mines for gear. How much of that will be all you've time to do if you're like basically, hey, fill the Great Vault. But filling the Great Vault means you don't really have the time to go and do the rest of the things you want to do because you have to fill the Great Vault because fill the Great Vault. We making it happen or you don't get any fucking loot. It's your only good source of loot. It's like how much of that will still be the case versus like will they change loot drops? Will the speed of clears in Mythic Plus feel a little bit better with how comparatively some people stronger are, even though I know they want to make them harder? Will it still feel better at like a +5 or a +8 or +10 or whatever on the way up? Is that going to feel better or is it just going to feel the same? And then people will go, I'm still not actually happy playing this game.
That will happen.
Why is that and how do they get around that quickly?
Yeah, so
is the problem, I think.
That will happen, for sure. However, it because this new layer of gearing also exists, my current expectation is that same frustration will exist for players. I think that will include you and me.
Yeah.
But it is proportionately a smaller slice of the pie because there's a new wedge in the pie with the crafted gear. Now, if Blizzard, they've talked about thinking, okay, the Great Vault, if you miss a few weeks, can we let you select multiple items from the vault? If they do that, if they do some accelerated progression for alts, they can do things where I think they will still have the same fundamental game design issues that me and Matt do have with Great Vaults. But
yes, for sure.
They can just apply a more is more approach to try to cap the downsides just a little bit more. Because, like, if you do have a system with flaws, gacha games. You, at the very least, should be generous. Again, another lesson from gacha games that actually convert well.
And a lesson that Blizzard have learned themselves personally with Overwatch too. Where it's like, you can't withhold rewards from people in a way. It's like, you'd be better off just saying, the pacing is fast, and then you will be done, and then you can log out and come back later, whatever else you want. I feel like that's a thing where they very much need to... Yeah, because the lengthening of the Mythic Plus ladder will probably cause problems with how people feel in that regard, even though it feels like it should on paper be a compelling enough experience. It should be compelling enough to be like, oh, yeah, you have to go to +20 now. You're like, sure. That'll just be... That is technically more content.
Yeah.
But there's something about it. The players will just be like, why am I on this treadmill? How do I get off this treadmill? And it's like, will having all the other content to do at least spice it up enough so they don't mind? Or is it just going to be, I would love to go and defend some soup. Instead, I have to Mythic Plus. Yeah, and that's like where they're going to cannibalize their own game in a sense. Even though that's like not a thing that happens, it's more in like the emotional level the players engage with.
So would you rather that your treadmill exists in the 9th circle of hell, or your treadmill exists in a fun activity island?
Yeah.
It's still a treadmill, but if it is existing in a broader context where its downsides are a bit more capped, it's going to have issues, but overall it won't feel as bad. And like even on that, just to follow up on Stogie's super, well, that is a relief, then I'll be PvPing. The thing is, if you're PvPing, you will be getting, like, I think much the same resource, which will allow you to make better crafted gear via your PvPing. I think you'll get more of that resource the higher your rating is. So, again, that's just an example of how gearing is... basically these soulbound crafted resources that you get from doing all this shit, it's kind of like old school Valor points, which is a bit confusing to talk about because we do have new school Valor points, which are their own thing.